Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we are back on World of Warships, and today we're doing some post-commentary video on an operation I recently completed for the first time actually. And it started because of the recently new patch of the Royal Navy arc sort of update, I guess you can say. But here we're on Operation Dynamo. Operation Dynamo is where you participate in Dunkirk and basically in the rescue of Dunkirk of like 3,000 soldiers. And basically like I said in the chat, this event looks pretty. But yeah, this is my first time doing it, so if you guys see me as a noob trying to not properly do this operation correct, this is my first time, so just I don't know. But yeah, so anyways, we're here on Operation Dynamo, and our goal here is to get to the marker on the minimap here, which has all the troops that were dead and stuff, like, well, not dead, right? They're trying to get out of here, and we're trying to save all of them and keep them intact. So we're just having a little horn battle right here because everybody's just sailing to the escape point. So, well, not escape point, but the rendezvous where we have to receive all these soldiers. So we're going to protect ourselves because we're going to be rescuing some of these survivors. Well, there's also AI friendly ships that are actually basically trying to also do the same as well. And as you see, we got some spotting aircraft coming in. So we have to destroy them as soon as possible because it's drawing fire from the coastal batteries here. So I try to generate a smoke screen, trying to protect these ships that are trying to get into the coast of the Dunkirk. So I try to use as much cover as I can, so I don't get shot for myself. But yeah, we try to capture some of these. Not capture. I keep saying capture because I'm so used to the random battle. But yeah, we tried to rescue some of these survivors. So, as you see, then one of the guys decides to leave because they were afraid of getting shot down and stuff like that, or sunk. So yeah, so we're basically embarking soldiers from this thing. I don't think I had received any troops. I think I did, but I was just sailing around. Didn't realize that I had to be in that ring area. So that was hilarious because I don't get out of the ring for no apparent reason. Like I said, this is my first time playing Operation Dynamo, and it'll be cool. And this is overall pretty cool because we're playing as destroyers trying to rescue these troops here. And yeah, we got some bomber aircraft coming in, trying to take out some of us alive. But most of our ships are in the smoke trails that we made from the destroyers, which is really cool because I like how this is the destroyers doing the job because, well, it's just really cool because it gets some destroyer players I don't know, some cool action. It's an easy operation if you have a oh, there goes Parks. That guy, he got destroyed by a minefield. Oh yeah, speaking of that, there's minefields in this event. So basically, I'm here on the circle trying to capture not capture, I keep saying that. Trying to evacuate some soldiers out of here. Well, we gotta avoid trying to get ourselves killed. There's coastal gun batteries. There's also torpedo boats, as you guys see, and there's also, of course, the bomber aircraft. We're basically all heading out because we're all getting annihilated, and a lot of guys are dying. So we're gonna try to stick together as we're trying to head back to port in the English Channel. Because this is basically what we're doing. We're basically crossing the English Channel right here. But, so yeah. Nothing much going on here because we're just fighting some bomber aircraft that are trying to take our transports. I realized that I had to go in quarter speed because I entered into a minefield because, as you guys see in upcoming footage, that destroyers do get killed in the minefield if they're not looking at their speed. So I had to quarter speed to avoid getting hit by the mines, and I tried to support with the torpedo boats, like trying to at least So yeah, we got more aircraft to shoot down, but that's all we're really facing in Operation Dynamo is torpedo boats and a bunch of aircraft. But we're trying to protect the civilian ships from getting torpedoed or bombed from these ships. So, and it can sometimes be difficult, especially trying to keep yourself alive as well. I'm transporting currently 90 people, and as you see, there are a few. Eventually, when the ship goes down, survivors are left. The survivors that the ship was carrying has like another little a nav point, and other ships have to be nearby this nav point in order to rescue those survivors that was sunk. As you see right there, one of our destroyers gets sunk, and the Sims just basically gets sunk, and we're trying. Our task is supposed to rescue his soldiers before they all drown in the pit of fire. Not pit of fire. What I'm talking about. Well, I meant water. But yeah, so he got killed by the minefields because he wasn't careful about his speed, like I said. And now we have a huge bombarding force of bombers. And so I'm gonna try to. I tried to use I was trying to thinking about rescuing the survivors, but then I decided to turn around so I can covered one of my friendly destroyers from the bombers. And let's just say anti-air is not the best on this destroyer. That's for sure. As you see, we lost like 2 civilian ships, and so we're down to 8 civilian ships. And one of the secondary ships secondary tasks is to save at least 7,000 troops. But as you can see here, we lose a lot of survivors quickly because of all the troops we're trying to save, and let's just say it didn't go so well. And instantly our first secondary objective is failed because we didn't rescue enough survivors for 7,000. So yeah, we're down to 8 civilian ships, and we're down to 2 destroyers actually. So
transport captains, make an evasive maneuver. Destroyer captains, ready to go.
So we're basically now here comes another wave of torpedo boats from the Germans, and we need to try to sink them. They can be easily destroyed. It's just that as I don't realize how fast these ships are and how small they are, so I'm kind of a little bit terrible at aiming at these guys, of course. But that's just me when I record, because my aiming is so terrible. So I try to take out some of these torpedo boats, but as you see, I am terrible trying to lead my shots and try to aim at them because it's such a low profile, and they have and they're going at fast speed. Trying to think of using torpedoes, but I realized it wasn't really worth it as when the torpedo boats get sunk. So yeah, and then we have a remaining squadron of fighters. So basically what we're trying to do is that we're trying to get past this minefield and get the hell out of Dunkirk, because we're getting we're still getting coastal fire from these guys, and we already lost another civilian ship, so we had to rescue the survivor from there. So nothing much happens here really, because we're just trying to knock off some fighters, knock off some other waves and stuff like that. But as of right now, it's just a nice sail out of the frickin' Dunkirk. So if I know my history in Dunkirk, about over 3,000 soldiers were survived the evacuation as the German army was surrounding the area. I think it was Luxembourg or was it France? I do not know. But let's just say the Germans traveled through the Ardennes, and which caused the huge encircle movement over the French and British soldiers around there, which basically caused a lot of downfall, a lot of soldiers dead, and civilian ships try to rescue these survivors as they go across the English Channel. And as you see, we got another wave of torpedo bombers. Now, it's really simple to dodge these torpedoes, that's for sure, as a destroyer. But the thing that people are worried about is the civilian ships, as they don't have the great torpedo evasion in this certain area. So Let's just say every time when I start avoiding every time when I start dodging some torpedoes, let's have some Eurobeat into this, because you gotta have some classic Eurobeat in when you're torpedoing, trying to avoid torpedoes. So yeah, as you see, it's just squadrons of 3 German aircraft. Nothing much happens here because they try to torpedo, but it's kind of failing. But then again, yet again, our anti-air is terrible, and we're not knocking them out like crazy. And as you see, they start taking out one of our destroyers because they're mainly targeting one of our players here, and then they start attacking some of the civilian ships. I try to do as much as I can, but the anti-air on the Mahan is not, I guess, the best. I don't know. It's not the best anti-air, but then again, it's the destroyer. What do you expect? But if I compare this to, like, let's say my Seattle light cruiser, the anti-air is significantly a lot better, like a heck ton better. But then again, you're comparing a tier 7 ship to a tier 9 ship, and a destroyer to a cruiser, so I haven't been much in the how far on the destroyer tech trees. Tier 7 is the farthest I've been through. I haven't gone to the actual top tier ships, but it would be cool to actually check some of these destroyers out. I really do like the American tech destroyers, because they're just, I love the gunboat, like the gunboat look to the, like, they serve as really well good gunboats, and they also do sometimes serve well as torpedo boats. But due to the lack of range, it's kind of hard to use torpedoes on U.S. destroyers. But they're really well done as gunboats. As you see, the Gallant is Gallant. I don't know how to say the names correctly. He starts getting hits, while we get another wave of torpedo boats. This time I actually do a lot better, I believe, when I start attacking these torpedo boats. Is I actually get some hits for once, because I'm such a failure at life. I take one out, and the Russian destroyer takes the other one out. And then here comes another wave of torpedo boats. I do the same thing, do some decent damage on it, but I sometimes kind of fail on leading. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So as you see, guys, here, Allied aircraft has arrived, and we're supposed to help the Royal Air Force against these guys. So it's a big dogfight right here, which looks amazing, honestly. If this was actually like you're actually in the first person perspective of that would be so awesome just to see that. It's just a huge collide of planes clashing together. But yeah, we're supposed to assist our fighters as they try to take out the enemy fighters as well. So I try to lead in, try to help out, trying to use all my anti-air weapons and stuff like that, trying to use as much as I can to assist my fighters as they try to defend us from the bombers. But as you see, they kind of dwindle our aircraft a little bit, and a majority of our aircraft starts to get annihilated. I try to do my very best to try to do my job, but as you see, I barely get a lot of planes shot down. Unlike the other destroyer behind me that actually is getting a lot of anti-air part. But yeah, here comes another wave of dive bombers, and I think they were trying to summon up. I think the next wave of dive bombers, I believe, is when they start attacking me, but I don't want to spoil too much. But yeah, we just target a bunch of these planes so we can get the secondary objective of destroying 8 fighter squadrons. But my anti-air pretty much sucks. We tried our very best, basically. That's for sure. Civilian ships are almost the way to port or to the safe zone, but I'm a little bit lagging behind. This is where I kind of lead to my downfall, because I'm not like with all my groups here. And there's another wave of torpedo boats, and there's none of our destroyers are even nearby to start doing damage. So yeah, that's just really great how I'm not with my teammates and I'm all alone. All because I want to try to get some fighter hits. But yeah. So basically, I try to head back to the civilian ships so I can help assist against fighting the torpedo boats. But it seems like the rest of the other destroyers are doing fairly well against those guys. And we try our very best. And as you see, incoming in the map, there's a bunch of dive bombers and torpedo bombers coming right behind me, and this is where it actually leads to my downfall. Because let's just say I decided not to move around when these guys are nearby me. I try to take out these bombers, but they they have caused a lot of damage to my destroyer, and I nearly survived the encounter. And as you see on that my left side of the ship, I'm being targeted by a group of torpedo bombers. I don't realize until they actually launched their torpedoes. So I tried to avoid one of the torpedoes, but I got hit, and this is where I lose all my survivors. So that's where I died. Luckily, sadly, I did not survive the encounter, but nobody's not going to rescue my survivors, because what's the point if we're just evacuating only 3,000 and we have like 5,000? So we're nearly our civilian ships get to port. Well, there's still a bunch of other bombers around. There's just a whole bunch of torpedo and dive bombers around, and we're trying to the remaining bunch of our teammates are trying to take out all opposing forces, trying to take out our civilian ships or the destroyers themselves. Nothing much can say about this operation here, because I really do like this operation, that's for sure. I like the Operation Dynamo, but I just wish I could play a little bit more, because it gets a little bit. It's a destroyer escort. Like, you get to become a destroyer and you're escorting a target, and I like that sort of mission. It's kind of cool how we get to play. Destroyers get a little bit of some spotlight in an operation for once. But yeah, our team gets to try to take out all the remaining forces of the they try to get all the remaining forces of the. I can't even freaking say anything there. Yeah, we try to get all the rest of the German forces. All the bomber planes are retreating, while the torpedo boats are on their way, trying to attack our civilian ships, but due to the immense power of the destroyers, they take them out with no problem. And then this is where we get near to the end of the mission, where we just rescue the remaining amount of survivors, because all we need to survive is 3,000, but we have a bunch of survivors here, so we're trying to get as much as we can in, even though, despite the fact we can't get the secondary objective of saving 7,000, because we lost more than I don't know, depends on, actually, did we lose a lot? Yeah, we lose a lot of survivors. I think we only survived, we only rescued about like 5,000 or less, because a lot of our ships got destroyed along the way and nobody rescued it. So
Operation Dynamo, 337,000 English and French soldiers were evacuated. The Allies maintained the ability to fight, and 4 years later, people saved at Dunkirk returned to France to win.
So yeah, that's the ending narrator here, and this is where the video ends basically. Hope you guys enjoyed the video of Operation Dynamo. If you guys want to see more operations and just see post commentary videos on this, leave a comment below, and I'll gladly do some more operations. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.